Hi guys, welcome to our final episode before the big reveal, the empty house tour. This is a custom home build series that I've been doing for the last several months, just talking about the different aspects of building a custom home from my personal experience, and just, all things design, upgrades, and just all the ins and outs of building a home. So as you know, this is the third part of my upgrades topic. It was just too big of a topic to put in one video. So this is the final episode or final part of those topics that we've discussed. Still sticking to the interior of the home, and we'll go through those items with you. Still in a gray zone, guys. We still don't know what's happening with our closing. Hopefully we'll figure it out this week. I'm just kind of focusing on, packing and not worrying about the nitty gritty of things, because I'm going to drive myself crazy, but I'll keep you in the loop of what's going on with our closing. So let's get into those items that I wanted to show you. So just a reminder how we did it with the ranges that I had given with the $1 to $4 signs. Here it is again. Just to keep it simple, and like I said, open to anyone wanting any specific prices. Just private message me and I'm happy to provide that. So let's get into our first item. Custom cabinetry is one of the most expensive things that people will experience, the level of expense that you are enduring. Obviously the more custom you go, it is going to be more expensive, right? They are building it to that space, to that area, whatever it is. You get to choose every feature and aesthetic of the actual cabinet that you want. So it's going to be more expensive. We were actually lucky because the more ornate you go on the cabinets, the more expensive it is. Well, as you know, all my cabinetry are flat front cabinets, super simple, very modern. So we actually kept our costs down for the most part in that aspects of just the finish on the cabinet. But of course, we had a lot of areas in the home that needed to be, filled with cabinets. So that's why it drove up the price. I'm going to give this $4 signs. Wowza, it makes me so stressed even thinking about the cost of this. So, if you think of it, you're looking at 6 bathrooms, you're looking at a kitchen, a prep kitchen. We had some cabinetry in our formal dining room. You're looking at 2 built-in entertainment centers, which are pretty large in size. And office, the office we did built-ins, that was quite, expensive. So these things, mudroom, the mudroom was a big one. And then some of the features that we included in those cabinets, such as soft close, that drove up the price. A lot of the organizational accessories that I included in the prep kitchen and the actual main kitchen drove up the price. And not to mention drawers pretty much everywhere in our prep kitchen and the kitchen. Most people know it's much more expensive than just standard cabinets. And also the floating shelves. We have a few floating shelves in our primary ensuite and also in the main kitchen area. As you know, I don't have upper cabinets. Definitely, this was something that we didn't want to, cheap out on, because we knew we're not going to rip out what's existing and put in, something else that we want. So we thought, just do it from the get-go, get it done, and I think we're going to be super happy with it. So this was one that was a must for us. The next upgrade I wanted to talk about were smooth ceilings. So most builders will include a main floor ceiling that's smooth. Then upstairs and in the basement, it's that popcorn ceiling. There's also ceilings that are called California finishes, which almost look like a swirl finish on the ceiling. From the get-go, I said, I do not want any type of design on my ceilings or any type of, that type of texture that I cannot stand. So I said from the beginning, on all ceilings, all levels, I wanted smooth finish. Of course, that is, an extra, that's an upgrade. And I'll give that $2 signs, and well worth it, an average price, and didn't want to have to go back and redo that, because I know that's one of the hardest things you can do is redo a textured ceiling or a finish. So this was definitely a good upgrade for us to include. Our next upgrade that we wanted to talk about was structural upgrades. I'm going to give this $3 signs. So structural, as everybody knows, is something that should be at the forefront of when you're building a home. So it's something that you can't change anymore. Whether it's the actual floor plan, it's the size of the home. I mean, you can always change the size of the home, but who wants to do that later on? And again, like a lot of the floor plan and where you want what wall and how you want the rooms to be laid out. So this was really important for us. I think we ended up changing it like 3-4 times, meaning I actually added, to this. That's why it's at $3 signs. So for us, the structural changes were mainly the size of the home. I did bump out quite a bit on the back of the house on the main floor, and a little bit, I guess, upstairs in the bedrooms. So for us, every builder has a different dollar per square foot. I believe ours was around $300 from my memory, $300 a square foot. So if you calculate that, if we would have added, I don't know, if we would have added 30 square foot, you just multiply that and you get your actual cost. So for us, this was, after all that we changed, we moved some of the walls around, we changed some of the layout of the floor plan, and you have to put more structural support for some of those changes I made, and that's why it's at $3 signs. But I wouldn't have it any other way. This is something that we can't change, so that's why it's on our must-haves upgrade list. So tech is the next thing I wanted to talk about. Now, I know I mentioned tech on the outdoors, on the first episode, and the outdoors upgrades, but it kind of links together. There wasn't really much tech outside per se. It's a lot inside. So that's why I would say it's around the same umbrella, around, that $3 to $4 sign level. And again, tech was something that this was kind of my husband's forte. He really pushed for a lot of the internal upgrades for tech, for speakers, for better internet connection. So Wi-Fi, a lot of Wi-Fi, what's the word I'm looking for, connectivity, so we don't have any issues later on down the line. And a lot of the smart home features as well, which includes, the shades that I had spoken about previously, surround sound downstairs, that it does include our outdoor television as well. So I'm gonna probably be forgetting a few other things, but and some of the things that I had talked to you guys about with lighting, some of the options that we're able to just have a few switches versus 6 switches to turn off different types of lights. So these are all things that end up adding up very quickly, where it takes it to that $3 to $4 sign level. But something that we're really looking forward to having in this new home. Okay, the next upgrade are the gym floors. I'm going to give this $1 sign, so well worth it. Many of you know, if you watched my floor plan episode, make sure you catch that one, that we are going to first keep the gym area in the basement as the kids' play area, because we haven't finished the rest of the basement. It's not completely finished. So once we finish that last portion of the basement, then we're going to turn that area into our gym. But we thought from the get-go, let's put these floors in. So they're actually padded floors, as many of you know. Kids can play on it too. It's very protected, and I don't have any concerns about that, but I just thought get it out of the way so they don't have to rip anything out later on and redo it. So our plan is, hopefully, fingers crossed, next year we can create a gym space for ourselves that will allow us to have a home gym. And stay tuned for that, because I'll keep you in the loop for that one too. But this was a great upgrade. It was $1 sign, and definitely in the grand scheme of things, not that big of a deal to add. Next upgrade, doors. So that includes like door and trims, internal doors and external doors and all that. So we were really lucky because our builder, what was actually already included for us were pretty high, quality doors to begin with. So we didn't really have much that we had to upgrade. That's why this upgrade only has $2 signs on it. It's an average price. But our doors are 8 foot high on the main floor and upstairs. In the basement, they're the standard height, but on the main floor and upstairs, they are solid doors, so they are heavier doors. They're not hollow like most builder grade doors, so that obviously drives up the price. And but I did ended up picking some doors for like the office and our gym doors and also our prep kitchen door that have glass inserts on them, so that drives up the price a little bit. Some double doors. We also had 1 or 2 pocket doors that we paid extra for, just better functionality for that space. So all of this drives up the price, but $2 signs for door and trim. My goodness, when I talk to people who are building, their door budget is through the roof. Like their door and trim budget is through the roof. Keep in mind, we have no crown molding, which that's the way I like. And we also, our baseboards are super, super simple. They're 2.5 inch, usually you're looking at like 6 inches and plus for, homes that are a little bit more on the luxury side, but we kept ours super simple. And for those reasons why I chose to do it the way I did. If you didn't watch my paint video, talked a lot about the trim and why I'm doing it certain ways. Make sure you catch it. It was a really good video, but that's the reason why I went that route and probably kept the cost down for sure. So happy about this particular upgrade. Plumbing fixtures. So this upgrade was a big surprise for us. I totally thought I had it under control. I did not think we were gonna, do any type of major upgrades. I knew there was gonna be some cost, but I was shocked. Like I couldn't believe where we were at with the plumbing fixtures. I did have to go back and scratch some, of what I thought weren't upgrades were upgrades out, because I was like, this is just ridiculous. But I'm gonna give this $3 signs. This was a place where we possibly could have saved a little bit more. I really didn't have to do a few of the things that I did. I kind of kick myself for it now, but I don't know. I just went crazy, I guess. You go to these suppliers and they have beautiful spaces and items and you just lose your mind. So this was one that, we could have scaled back on quite a bit, but you're looking at 6 bathrooms. I'm gonna mention this again so you keep it in perspective. 6 bathrooms, a prep kitchen, a main kitchen. We had the outdoor kitchen, the plumbing fixtures there. You're looking at, a wet bar and also the RO system added to that. So it is what it is. I'm not gonna sit here and regret anything at this point because it's just too late, but this was one of those things that if I look back on now, I could have definitely scaled back. That's where we're at with this one. The next upgrade I wanted to talk about were our closets. Oh boy, this is another one. I'm gonna give this $3 signs. Again, this is, as you know, the level where it should be on your must-have list. And something that you really want, obviously. So closets were another one where we possibly could have scaled back. However, we're looking at the master closet, walk-in closet. We're looking at, 2 other bedrooms with custom closets. We're looking at the seasonal closet. We're looking at the guest closet, the front foyer closet that I had talked about before. So these obviously add up, and we ended up taking the kids' closets out of the equation initially because it was just ridiculous, the price. We were like dumbfounded with the amount of, cost that it was just, rising. And we went to 5 other companies and got some prices. I pretty much gave the blueprint of the supplier that we were working with. I gave it to them. I said, this is what we want. This is the size of the space that we have. Go, give us a price. And to my surprise, a lot of them came back more expensive. There was maybe 1 or 2 of them that came down, came back with a price that was a little bit lower than what we got from the builder, but I just didn't like the layout. There was a lot of empty spaces. It wasn't completely custom. And a lot of the features, I wanted a lot of drawers for the kids, and they weren't able to give us that much with what they could provide. So we went back to the drawing board. We kind of, we thought we could come back and put this in later, but they would have to, it's going to be an issue with the floors, with the trim. And again, back to the whole renovation topic of I don't want to go through renovations. So we just ended up putting it back in because there's just no point in, going back and ripping out things that are already there. They were going to provide shelves for us and whatnot at a standard from the builder. So we thought just put it in, but that's why it's $3 signs. But I'm going to not regret it again and say that it was well worth it. I hope. Okay, for the next item that I'm going to talk about is our custom steel railing for our stairs. Okay, so for most of you who have been on this journey with me, they know that one of my must-haves in this house were these steel railings that I've been in love with for a very long time. Before I get into it, I'm going to give this $3 signs. Now, this was, like I said, on my must-have list. This was I think I mentioned it in my earlier videos that this was non-negotiable. As per my husband, everything is negotiable, but this, to me, I was willing to give up my master closet, ladies. I was willing to give that up for this particular feature. And I'm so glad we did it. I think I had shown you guys on my Instagram handle what we had created with the stair railings, and it turned out so beautiful. No regrets, worth every penny, worth every headache. We're so happy with it. It was a high cost, but this was a feature that we really wanted, and I thought it went really well with the aesthetics of the home, the vibes of the home. So I can't wait to show you all just the total look of it within the home. So this was something that I was so excited about to add. This next upgrade is one, again, that I'm going to give $3 signs to, but it wasn't a must or a need. It was just something that we had in mind from the beginning. Our vents. So the grills that are in on your floor for your your heating and your cooling system. So we have been through, like I said, so many renovations in our current home, and the one thing that was the biggest headache to clean and to keep up and for it not to tarnish were these grills. They were the vent grills. And we thought, for this home, let's do something different. Let's keep it a little bit more clean looking and modern, that type of aesthetic that we're going for this home. And we ended up choosing to do Aria vents. For those who don't know what Aria vents are, they are actual custom inserts that go where your grill is supposed to go for your heating and cooling. And what they do is, whether it is your hardwood floors or tile, they take a piece of that hardwood or tile and they glue it to a certain part of this insert. So really what it looks like is a rectangular line, almost like a slit, that is hardly noticeable. You can do it in any color you want. Some people actually do it in the same color as their floors or tiles. We kind of wanted a little bit of contrast, so we kept with that black aesthetic, and it looks so good, guys. Like, I think this is one of the features that I'm so happy about. I know it's $3 signs. I know it wasn't like a must and a need, but it just adds so much, I don't know, it adds that aesthetic of the clean, simple look that I was going for, and it's just perfect in our home. Super happy with them, and the one thing that did drive up the price for this were the tiles. There's a lot of labor in cutting those tiles and gluing them for that insert, so that's probably why I ended up going to the third dollar sign. I think if it was just hardwood, it would have been $2 signs, but it's the tiles that drove up the price. But so happy with it. I love it. The last upgrade I wanted to mention was the plaster and mantle on the fireplace wall. So if you guys watched our cabinetry video, please make sure to check that out. I talked about that we ended up choosing not to go with a stone fireplace wall or any type of tile on the fireplace wall. We ended up going for something a little bit more textured, and again, in that whole aesthetic that I love. So we ended up going with plaster on the main floor fireplace wall, and then in the basement we went with drywall and then just paint. So it looks super, clean, smooth. There's a beautiful, this really cool texture on the main floor, the plaster, that I love. So we ended up going that route, and with the mantelpiece that we also added on the main floor fireplace wall. All of that ended up coming to $2 signs. That was the upgrade that we went with. I'm so happy with it. Let me tell you, it actually saved us money, because if we went with a stone or a tile on those walls, oh my goodness, our flooring level would have been more than 3 or 4 at this point, because it's just adds up. It's a large wall. It's a 10-foot ceiling, that you're adding, and it would have been crazy. So we ended up actually going a little bit more budget conscious on this one, but it ended up looking so good, and I'm so excited for you to see it. That concludes the video. Thanks so much, guys, for watching. I hope it was helpful. These last 3 episodes, I tried to be as, clear as, why we had chosen certain items. I will do some future videos, perhaps on the things that I may have regretted now after living in this space, and then also some of the things that definitely go for. So I just want to be able to be in the space and experience it, and I'll definitely let you guys know reviews of those upgrades. But I'm so appreciative of everybody's support with this new venture that I went on. As many of you know, design and building and even social media platforms, these are not what I do. I'm in healthcare, and I just, after the last 2 years of going through what we went through, I really wanted to change my journey a little bit. I wanted to test the waters and see if there's something else out there that would, excite me like it did in the beginning when I started healthcare, or something that just feels a little bit more, self-fulfilling. Because this last 2 years, let me tell you, every ounce of fulfillment and satisfaction and happiness that I had in my career, it just, it's out the door. And I think many of, the healthcare professionals, frontline workers feel the same. So this is something new for me. And another thing that I wanted to let you guys know is, I don't know, I think the closer people know that I have decided to go back to school. And I've actually been in school for the last several months. I just hadn't mentioned it, but I'm doing an interior design course or program. It's a 1-year program that I'm doing online. And I just feel like it'll give me a little bit more understanding in the world of design, and some building, of course, as well, and see where it takes me. I don't know. I'm still working, I'm still in the front lines working, but I just want to see what my options are for my future. So we'll see. I'll keep you in the loop of how that goes. I have a long way to go. I'm not even halfway through the program, and it's on pause right now because of the craziness that is our life with packing and moving and the regular day-to-day stuff. But I'll keep you in the loop of what happens with that. And I do have a couple other really cool projects coming up that I'm working with other people, and I'll let you know about that once things get a little bit more clear of timing. But anyway, thanks guys for joining me once again. The next time you'll see me will be, fingers crossed, in the new house, showing you the space room by room, and can't wait to go through it with you and let you see all the hard work and dedication in the last 2 years that we've been planning to build this home. So make sure you subscribe to my channel, press the like button, smash the notification button so you can see my empty house tour when it comes up. You don't want to miss that one. And of course, join me on Instagram, mahsalovesdesigns, where we talk all about building, designing, decorating, and definitely we'll get in more into those things as I am in school and going through the program and applying a lot of that to our new home. Hope you guys have a great week. We'll see you in the next episode. Take care, guys. Bye.